Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a UFO disclosure video. Unfortunately, this one's titled Mounds of Fake Bullshit. The White House recently released tons of UFO files and videos, and they have literally, there's a mountain of information. There's thousands of files. They've literally overwhelmed the internet. I've been trying to sift through the mountains of information to present you with a clear and informed analysis. But here's the rub. Along with the tons of legitimate files released to the public, it seems like an equal amount or more of AI-generated bullshit has been uploaded as well. It's almost a disinformation campaign. Every time I think I'm reading a real file, I find that it's a ridiculous invented story or the pictures are fake or something. I think I found about a half dozen real files in about a month of research. It's very frustrating. Before I really get into this, though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Friends can still disagree. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page over on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the ones pictured here: Vanguard 1, Task Force Terminus, and Gulag of the Damned. It's the Devo Poland Chronicles. So yeah, if you enjoy it's a space warfare, science fiction, futures thing. It's a study of humanity from an alien perspective. So if you enjoy the quirky weird, check out my page. You'll find all kinds of stuff there. I've seen hundreds of AI-generated videos of aliens walking with and meeting with government officials. I've seen dozens of AI-generated UFO videos and dozens of alien security camera videos. I'm really getting tired of artificial intelligence. It's really starting to rub me the wrong way. I don't like artificial intelligence to begin with, and now I'm having to sift through this stuff. It's really bad. Excuse me. Congress is holding UFO and UAP hearings. They're chaired by Anna Paulina Luna, and to her credit, she's trying hard. She really is. But she's being constrained by several factors. First, she's bound by the rules of Congress. They're not really allowed to cross-examine witnesses like they can in a court of law. The Congress members get a certain amount of time to ask X amount of questions, and for whatever reason, the Congress people and the witnesses all like to filibuster. They like to hear themselves talk. So you can't ask a lot of questions, you know what I'm saying, for each congressman. Congress members, for whatever reason, do not, or maybe they can't, who knows, but they're not coordinating their questioning. So when some moron Congress member isn't paying attention, questions get duplicated or not asked, and that's really frustrating. Follow-up questions aren't because each one only has 5 minutes. Follow-up questions aren't a big deal either. Also, congressional aides have been caught holding or intercepting information to implement a kind of a Stonewall effect. I'm not sure if this is still happening or not, but one would hope that once they find somebody doing that, they'd fire them, but I don't know. Anyway, witnesses are sworn in at the beginning of the hearing, but the things they are testifying to are so fantastic that there's no way to verify what they did or didn't see or do. And saying so-and-so saw such and such is not any more legitimate under oath than it has been not under oath for the last 75 years. I have to mention George Knapp. I really like him and I believe what he says. But it seems that the bulk of his documented stuff, of his documentation, is stuff that he smuggled out of Russia in his underwear or whatever. How do we know his sources are real? How do we know they aren't feeding him shit? The people in the intelligence industry, the intelligence services circles, they can be very persuasive. They can be very believable. And I like George Knapp. Don't get me wrong. I like him. But how do we know that they're not feeding him shit? You see what I'm saying? He has great information, but to be fair, he's making good money off of these UFO, UAP stories. We have to hold everyone to the same standards, and any documents put into the official record of the hearing need to be verified. And how can they be? He smuggled them out of another country. In his case, he smuggled them out of another country, and they're not forthcoming with information. You see what I'm saying? They've had a ton of witnesses other than George Knapp, but how many of them can honestly be trusted? Half of them are intelligence agents, and half of them are profiting from these stories. So, again, it's hard to know what's real and what's not, even in Congress. All we can go by is the official congressional record, which now is teeming with all kinds of documentation that we don't know is true or not. What these hearings boil down to is a platform for these UFO, UAP enthusiasts to create or further their careers. One thing that really bugs me is that President Trump ordered the release of all of the UFO, UAP files, yet the Congress members sitting on this committee are viewing documents and videos away from the public eye in a secure SCIF. Honestly, what the fuck? Show all of that shit on C-SPAN in the hearings. Once they are released to the public, they are buried in mountains of fake shit that nobody wants to sift through. There are 2 C-SPAN channels. Put them on C-SPAN. I'd watch that shit in a heartbeat. C-SPAN would get better ratings than fucking reality TV. I'm a huge fan of Anna Paulina Luna, but like I said, these hearings are bullshit. It's not her fault, but they are. It certainly doesn't help when she, among others, make murky and odd statements like they've seen evidence that they aren't space aliens or that they've seen proof. But all of that evidence is in a SCIF and we can't see it. What all of this boils down to is that releasing information on the internet sucks because it's being buried. I don't know, fake AI bullshit and I don't know, people are creating really believable documents as well. My thing here is, instead of putting it on the internet, release it all on C-SPAN. Everything they're seeing in the SCIFs, we need to see, because the President of the United States ordered that to be released. If it's something that deals with national security, obviously don't put that up there. But don't put it on the internet. It's being freaking buried. Stop taking information into that SCIF that is not classified for national security. The entire world knows UFOs, UAPs, and alien beings are real. We've known it for decades. All we want is the proof. Release it all on C-SPAN. Or does that not make sense? You know? I mean, C-SPAN, people. C-SPAN. We have 2 government channels, and all they do is talk about shit that happened in Congress. Come on. Put it on C-SPAN. Sorry, I'm ranting now. Anyway, if you have more comments or if you've run into the same thing, stick that in the comments. I'm sure we'd all love to read it. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.